So this morning I was working on an owl drawing that I use the pencils and smudge sticks, and I have some videos about using those if you're interested. But I wanted to make a short video about adding some watercolor to this. And the plan in my mind, anyway, we'll see how it turns out, is to add a bit of a wash up here, and a wash and some splatters in here, and then have some paint dripping down. So I just wanted to do a short video about adding the watercolor to that. And I have my little kit ready. It's a Winsor & Newton watercolor kit that I've had for a million years. And I love this little kit. So I'm going to get started on the wash inside the owl right here. And to start, I'm just going to add water by itself. Right? And the reason I'm doing that is because I want a nice section of water in here. And so what will happen, you'll see in a minute, when I start adding the color, it's just going to make a very sort of organic shape and spread out. And that's what I want to have happen. So you can see right, how that just sort of bleeds out, and that's what I want it to look like. I want it to be very natural on there. So I'm going to continue just adding a bunch of water in this whole section and putting down some color in there. And you can go back in after on the color and add more water. So this whole process, the point that I want to share is that there's not a right answer, and it's fun to sort of use this because it's not something you can completely control, and it's a nice effect to add right in here. And also, it's not like I would say, okay, now I'm completely done with the pencil part, because I'm adding the watercolor and I can't go back in, right? I can go back and forth. Maybe after this is done, I would say, you know what, I need to finish out more of this owl or add some more detail, and that's fine. I can go back and forth. And in fact, sometimes it's sort of nice to do it that way. Right? So you can see that this wash is sort of starting to add some interesting shapes back here. And I'm going to continue this over here where the body would be in here. So let me get a little bit more paint in here, and I'll show you how I add the sort of drips in here. And so when I add these drips, I want them to look very natural and organic, but I sort of do it by hand. So let me build up one very specific spot of water and add some color to that, right? And then I'm just going to pick this up. And if I need to add more water to that, right? I can just do it this way, right? And that'll just sort of drip down like that. And so I can add some more color in there so that shows up a little bit better, right? And the only sort of caveat to doing this is obviously there's a bunch of water right here, so if I did one right next to it and started, you know, hitting the paper down again, they're all going to go everywhere. So it's sort of a slow process, but it's a nice effect, I think. So maybe while I'm waiting for that to dry, I can add some more color up here, right? And just sort of work on this in pieces. And I like having the effect of, you know, making some areas darker, making some areas lighter. I think that sort of adds some interest to it. And then at the very end, the last thing I will do is load up a bunch of color and paint on the brush and hit it like this and make the splatters, which I really like adding to everything because it looks visually interesting, I think. Right, so I'm just going to keep working on this until I'm happy with how it looks, basically. There's not a right answer, it's just whatever you're happy with. So I hope this was helpful. And if you want to see more drawings, again, you can check out virginiapoltrack.com, or feel free to let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.